An important part of successfully using the Sakura estimating system is to understand how data is saved and how the products interact with the cloud services. When we create a new estimate, we have an opportunity to upload to the cloud services at the same time. So we change the name, we press OK, and we get some information about where we would like to put it in the cloud and if we would like to put a note about it when we put it in the cloud. So we now have created a new estimate. That job has nothing in it at this point, but there are 2 copies of it, one locally on the laptop and one stored safely in the cloud. As we progress the information, as we start to add items in modules, so as we start to add information here locally, we can see that there's a little change column appearing to show us things that are changing in the software. When we move between modules, the software saves all the changes we've made, so the little change has gone at this point. As we start to add more information, we'll see the changes begin to come back. So every time we move between a module, the software saves the data. If we're spending a particularly long time in a module, we can do Control S, and that will save the data locally on the machine. We also have an option under the File menu to save, and again, that saves locally. So all of that information there is nicely saved on our local hard drive. We've got the opportunity to use undo and the opportunity to roll back local estimates if we need to, and there's a separate estimate on rolling back for you to watch. But in addition to keeping things locally, we also have the opportunity to push a copy of the job into the cloud whenever the estimator wants. So we've made some changes to the job here. We have an option under File to synchronize the job. And as we think by the word synchronize, we now have again 2 identical copies of the job, one locally, one in the cloud. And we can use the synchronize function most successfully when we're collaborating with other people on the same estimate, because the act of synchronizing will pass changes up to the cloud, but will also retrieve any changes that have been made by others back down. So synchronizing is a 2-way process. We also have the opportunity to return to the home screen, and we have an opportunity to upload the estimate to the cloud. We can do it from here, we can do it from here, and we're uploading the current estimate to the cloud. So we're not picking one from here, we're saying that this is the estimate that's going up to the cloud. When we upload the estimate at this point, the software is telling us that this estimate already exists, so do we want to progress? And then it gives us an opportunity to make a particular note against the backup. Once we've made our note, we put the estimate up into the cloud, but what we now have is, once more, we have another iteration of the job. We don't overwrite these uploads, we keep them as separate iterations, which gives us the opportunity to compare and contrast. So there are various functions and reports within the software where we can compare the content of a previous upload to the cloud with the current job locally on our machine, or indeed another cloud instance. So saving the data, saving locally, is something that the machine copes with. As you move between modules, it will save the data. If you want to save the data yourself, under some of the active screens you'll see File Save or Control S. And as you move between modules, it will save the data. Or you can upload either for certain specific milestones, once a day at the end of the day, to back up your data for security purposes, or you can synchronize and just make sure that you're using all the latest information on the job.